everyone, this is Roger. This is my story of how I went from 0 to 60 days without drinking and the five major benefits that I personally am experiencing as of now. And first of all, welcome to my channel. This is a channel that I used to talk about fitness. In the meanwhile, I left the fitness industry. So now I'm just a guy working and living my best life, trying my best to live my best life, I would say. And part of that is actually diminishing the number of addictions that we have and not be so dependent on substances to live our life even mildly. And I want to start the story by how much of a drinker was I, because everybody always questions, yeah, maybe I'm not as heavy a drinker as you are, so I don't need to stop. And I'll contextualize you, and you'll find yourself wherever you follow yourself. But imagine that you work Monday to Friday. On Friday nights, you go out with your buddies. You have, over the span of 5 or 6 hours, from 9 to midnight, 1 a.m., whatever, 5 or 6 drinks. Nothing. You don't get blackout drunk. I wouldn't consider myself an alcoholic, and basically that was it. And maybe Friday I would have like a heavier drinking day, and Saturday a lighter drinking day, so like two or three only, for example. That was my status quo, and this was the way I functioned ever since I was 17. I think, yeah, pretty much. I think pretty much this was my life since I was 17, and I was like the middle lane drinker. I wasn't full blown alcoholic. Sometimes I drank during the week, but 1 or 2 beers, something like that, pretty chill. This was enough to get me off my game, because at the end of the days, even the worst days, the best thing that I can think that could take the edge off, as cliche as that sounds, was 1 or 2 beers and like small pastry, and I was good to go for the rest of the week, which is actually something that's started gradually increasing. I went from 1 beer to 2 beers, now to 2 beers and one spirit, small spirit. So I get my buzz going, and you junction that with the weed smoking habit that I have, and you get on the roller coaster of substance use to live your life. And I decided to stop because I had a fight with a couple of my best friends, which I now view as overdue friendships, let's say. And I was a little bit depressed, and I needed some way, shape, or form to channel this love that I have, that I gave to the other people. So I started putting it on me. I started putting it on my girlfriend, on my family, and possibly new friends and new friendships that might arise. And yeah, I can go into that story in a future video if anybody is curious. By the way, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you can help me. Would appreciate it. And I feel kind of awkward saying it, but thank you. And now I'm going to tell you what I experienced timeline wise, okay, from 0 to 60 days, and what I'm experiencing right now. This is day 61. I made a video yesterday, but it was shite, let's say. Poop. And basically, I need to redo the video so I can stay on focus. Basically, the five benefits that I tell you now will be increasing during the ever since the first or second week that you stop that you start stopping drinking. And during the first 15 days, what you see is an experience is a small window of weirdness, because there's a key part of going out not drinking that you are so used to that you, even if it's just one drink, that you are not allowing yourself to have, and that kind of messes with you a little bit. And of course the friends ask, hey, why not you drinking, blah blah blah, and why are you not drinking? And you have to not give your best excuse, but to stand firm and to calmly and lovingly say that, look, I'm trying to not drink for a while. And usually people respond well to that. If they don't, they're crappy friends. Fuck them. Um, family is different. But basically, yeah. And during those specific time periods, you don't experience a lot of benefits. You just kind of weird. Maybe you unbloat a little bit, maybe not. Depends on the person. I did, and I saw a couple of water weight shed off, and I noticed that during those 2 weeks, I was able to be consistent with the goals that I had regarding my nutrition and my exercise. And this was very, very good for me because this consistency, which is the first major benefit, is actually something that I didn't have. Maybe I screwed up a little bit on Saturday, a little bit on Sunday, and then I was demotivated a little bit during the week. But this way, I'm always kind of motivated because I'm always sticking to my goals. I always have the same predisposition, which is very, very good to staying consistent. There's no highs and lows. Maybe you sleep a little bit better, maybe you sleep a little bit less, or a little bit crappier. But general, the window of change is not as much as someone that went out and drank 5 or 6 beers the day after, the day before. You really do feel it, and it does make a difference in my experience and in the experience of the other people that I saw who are trying to quit alcohol. And this is like a common base experience, which is consistency and the level of energy that you feel to stick to your goals, and the motivation that you need to actually follow through with them weeks on end. And this continued until my first month. And what I noticed after my first month around that area, everybody's different, was the emotional stability, which is the second benefit that I want to talk to you about. I used to be very, very angry, very, very quick to respond aggressively, let's say. No, I was not rude or anything, but there was a buildup of really a buildup of angry energy that every slight of small trouble would set me off. And I see myself a little bit calmer, a little bit more patient, a little bit more quicker to apologize, to acknowledge my mistakes, to try and turn the day around, to turn the day into a better day, to resolve conflicts with my girlfriend, with my friends, family. Well, I don't have friends now, but with my girlfriend, and basically the emotional stability that you get from not drinking is something that affects your whole life. It makes our whole life better, honestly. Coming up to like between the first month and the second month, I saw huge weight loss progress in my end. I'll post a picture of me actually on how I was at the end of December, okay, close to the Christmas season, and you can see how bloated my face is. I still have a long way to go. No mystery there. However, if you compare my face right now to the face I had in the end of December, which was just over 1 month ago, you can really see the difference. And I can see the difference. My girlfriend can see the difference. I feel way better overall with myself regarding the weight loss. And I feel better overall, which is like a good feeling to have inside, is when you feel good a little bit about yourself, about the progress. And this is not to be underestimated, which it's not a benefit, but it is a benefit that you get through doing this. Sleep also got really, really good. I'm consistently sleeping 7 hours, unless my dog has a stomach ache, which happened a couple of days ago, and I cannot sleep anymore. But that's besides the point. Sleeping consistently for 7 to 8 hours every single day, falling asleep really, really easily, also helped keeping my phone off my room, which is a story for another day on this personal development channel that I'm trying to keep up with and be consistent. And basically, the sleep that I get is very good for my training. My training numbers went up really quick. I'm almost at the top of my form that I was before I gained like 20 kilos. So it's very, very good on that end. And last but not least, the wallet. You save a lot of money not drinking, man, and you can use that money to buy, if you're into self development, buy books, buy courses, invest in yourself, invest in work tools, go out with your friends in a good non-alcoholic way, go out with your girlfriend, take your family out for dinner. It can really, really expand the number of things that you can do during the week, during the month, and overall, it's way, way less detrimental for you to spend your money that way, through experiences, through growth, than to spend your money in self-indulgence with alcohol to get buzzed. Not judging who does, okay? I'm just taking out giving you my benefits, what I saw about the drinking. And a small part of people might not think that drinking 1 or 2 beers or 4 or 6, or even are not honest with themselves with how much they really drink. Don't take this seriously enough, but give it a try. You don't have to not drink forever, but you can give it a try and see if what benefits you get. And if you cannot, that tells you more about your addiction than anything else. Even if it's a social addiction, even if it's not a full blown alcohol related addiction, you have a way of doing things that you cannot stop. And that should make you question things always. Even if it's sweet, even if it's alcohol, or video games, which were the three Achilles heels. I had 3 heels, and I try to protect them in this regard. In another video, I can go into my weed addiction and my video game addiction, and story for another day. This is only my first video on this long-running series that I call Roger Levels Up, and I'll do a video specifically about that. And thank you all. I appreciate you seeing the video till the end. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps, of course. I just started out. And I'm trying to build a community of like-minded individuals that can grow with me, that can share their experiences, and then together we can become better people to bring a better world. Thank you all. Have a nice day.